It's that time again, people. Hey, what's up and what's Gucci, baby? As you guys can see in live HD, it is your host with the most, long hair don't care, Paul Cantu, back at you guys in my humble thrift cove, my 2.0 thrift cove, in my brand new apartment. Now, I know a lot of you guys are some haters of the new hairdo, but I just have to tell you that this video, fortunately for all the crimping and pimping haters, was shot before I grew out my brand new hair. So yeah, man, I just want to show you guys briefly and quickly how I can set up a really clean, really dope room for a very minimal price. And right now I'm gonna show you guys the steps it took to create this. The thrift god's heaven. Let's get it. All right, people, so the first step in obviously constructing any room from scratch or redecorating your room is to obviously have the bones and structure of your place laid out. So that means putting the furniture in your desired place. So I have one desk, two desks, all my little cubbies that have all the stuff I need to basically function, such as paints, all my shipping supplies, everything of that nature to run my business. Now I also got the windows right there so that when I'm working I can peep at my neighbors and be like, what in the hell is you doing? Is you distributing cocaine out here? And then I also have my giant TV, my laptop, my speakers, my scale. You know, we low-key Colombian drug dealers. So when you're tackling decorating a new room, it really is what you need to focus on first. So I got the stuff laid out. So the next thing is, how do I handle this cardboard that is on the ground right here that obviously isn't a good place for my chair to rest? Simple solution. Slide that off and boom! You have the giant bamboo little mat rug thing. Oh yeah. Bitch! Yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna move the tape. Bitch! Alright, baby, so I got the bamboo laid out so I can low-key breakdance on this, except I don't know how, so I really just break myself. And of course you gotta test every addition. Alright, so now we're at the next spot right now, which is actually this closet right here. So on the ground of the closet, I have all the clothes that I fold up, because basically I do run an online thrift shop, which is called Thrift Heaven, in case you guys don't know. But it is the best place online to get thrifted gear for a good price. So basically right here, I'm gonna hang up all my jackets. As you guys know, I live in Texas, so it is extremely hot the majority of the year, so I figure I can relegate this space to actually storing all of my chaquetas. Let's go. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. All right, guys, the gradient is complete. And yes, I do have the beautiful fabled chalk line Michael Jordan jacket hung up. So yes, I do have a ton of jackets, I know, but I really be copping and rocking what I love. So I got the chair situation handled, I got the closet handled. Those were the two main things I had an idea about, and now it's time to decorate the walls. So when decorating the walls, you guys already know what time it is. I laid down a lot of the biggest items I have first, such as this really sick thrifted Jeff Gordon flag, and actually just nailed it in with a bunch of push pins. So really you need a measuring tape and push pins to do a lot of the precise hanging and measurements to make sure everything is level and even. So I hung up a nice little Leo Messi poster, this really sick Tupac Shakur painting that your boy got at the Goodwill. I put up a few other decorations, and then right now I'm just trying to block in where I'm gonna put my future pieces on the wall. Now a lot of these items I actually did hang up, but I ended up moving them later on just because the aesthetics weren't quite meshing the way your boy wanted. So I also mounted a Wheaties box, which is kind of crazy. I put in a nice little push pin and actually kept the box up very easily. I put the pin through the inside of the box and it worked perfectionately. Now one thing that I did, which was really cool and challenging, was actually hanging up this Michael Jordan triple play toy on the wall. So I used blue painter's tape on the back of the box. I created these nice little fold over tabs. So I basically folded a piece of tape in half and then added tape on the back to keep it atop the box. Now I didn't want to stick the pins through the box because it of course could lose value for the toy over time, and also the painter's tape won't damage the back of the box when you peel it off, believe it or not. So painter's tape definitely is a must-have when hanging items. So I just stuck the pins through the painter's tape tabs that I made. I put a couple under the box for support, and it actually held that thing up perfectionately.
Now the next thing that I laid atop my wall was this giant Michael Jordan just dunking on these fools poster right hither. Now I actually got 3 of these in a set off the app OfferUp, and that is my go-to place for grabbing vintage posters. It definitely comes in clutch. Just don't get ripped the off. And speaking of beep, I'm adding a nice little Star Wars piece on the wall. And then now I'm doing some of that rearrangement. So I'm adding this Alvin and the Chipmunks album art and also this Hot Wheel and Vision little VHS tape canister holder on the wall. Those have dope graphics. So pretty much anything that's visually appealing to the eye is what I relegated to the wall. Now this beautiful Neil Diamond sunset majestic beach work definitely had to go up, and here's the wall pretty much as is, but as you guys can see, there are a lot of blank spaces in between the big objects that I added onto the wall. So simple solution, I'm just gonna add a bunch of cards onto that thing. So I selected some of my favorite players and athletes from times past to actually put on the wall and preserve for an eternity in my videos. So I get the cards, and again, the painter's tape comes in clutch. You just fold it in half, sticky sides up, basically making double-sided tape, put them on the back of the cards, and then you just stick them onto the wall. So yeah, right now I'm just measuring out kind of some spacing to make sure it looks even and good, and I'm just slapping that ting on there, man. So yeah, basically you just press it on the wall and it'll hang up and stay up for a very long time. This is my time-tested and fabled technique, and trust me, it works perfectly. So then I'm just adding a few more in the other little gaps just to fill in those blank spaces again, because I want my whole walls covered, basically being tatted from head to toe. And here again, man, when you have any type of shelf, you gotta add the little figurines, bruh. Just set that thing off. So now I'm actually gonna add something that one of my fans gave me, and it's this really dope, a Michael Jordan sleeping bag. Now, shout out to everybody who sends me stuff. My PO box is gonna be in the description. But yeah, one of my supporters sent me 2 sleeping bags, and it obviously is one of the most graphically appealing and largest objects that I'm throwing up on the wall. So I just hammered some nails through it, put some pins to make sure it was even and straightly aligned, and bada bing, bada boom, it looks sick. Achoo. Yeah. Now I'm just filling in that other gap with a Back to the Future little painting. Also, I had a record above it. Bob James, shout out to him. And then I figured, you know what, I know there's a doorway right there, but I think it'll look a lot better if there's a clothing rack filling in that awkward little gap, and I fucked with it. Now I'm actually just filling in some more spaces with the starting lineup figures. This one is actually, I think that's Barry Sanders when he played for OSU. And then I have this sick African mask that my sister got me. Actually, no, I thrifted it, I'm a liar. But yeah, baby. So basically, if you have any odds and ends, they look dope on the wall. Just have a nice eclectic eye, and yo shit will be looking fly. Quote that, baby. Put that in the yearbook, son. So right now I'm throwing up another acquisition that I got on OfferUp, the H-Town Classics, the trifecta, and then now I'm putting in the final place this really sick Nike soccer poster. Got Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry, and Wayne Rooney, the classic. Again, man, when there are any gaps, I just fill in them craps with the cars, and it goes hard. Trust and believe, because it's the truth in the booth, baby. Now, getting on to the second sleeping bag. This one I actually wanted to put over the door, and this was a really good technique because I definitely was not losing my deposit on this apartment. So I stuck some tacks in the top of the door where no one could see it, and it hung up this sleeping bag perfectly, dude. I was really happy with the outcome. Also, I'm low-key thick. I know, look at that booty. It's goals AF. Look at that. So then to go above it, I added the teamwork, because teamwork makes the dream work. You guys already know safety first, then teamwork. So of course, I measure everything out, make sure it is even. If you do like your objects to be centered, which I definitely needed this thing to be a centered. So I added 2 little pins, I hung it up, and the door frame actually supported the bottom half. I fuck with your boy. And then again, I filled in the gaps with some starting lineup figurines that I also got on OfferUp. I also have found a few in the flea market and the thrift, so that's a great place to search and sift if you guys are in need of some of them things. Woo! And there you go, baby. I also made this nice little rainbow arrangement of clothes that I hung up on the rack. And then now again, I'm throwing on some more Jordan posters. Now I actually do believe that I am going to get a few different types of posters to hang up, but these are what I had on hand, so I figured they'd be a good little space filler for right now. And then I also added some cards in between the posters. Once again, Earnhardt Sr., you got Derek Jeter, Angelus, my sponsor, and all of that. And then I also hung up some VHS tapes on the walls. Now I was gonna pull the tapes out of their canisters and just hang the little nice cardboard boxes on the wall, but I was like, dude, Why mess up the boxes when you can preserve them and hang up the tapes for great storage? So that's what your boy did. And it looked absolutely wondrous. And then I whipped out that Towel Gang viciousness with the Minnie Mouse, really a sexy Air Mini towel, and it looks sick. She is definitely busting a tray flip on that shit. Now the back wall is a bit interesting because there was this weird gap at the bottom. I just filled it in with a bunch of records. But yeah, this wall, the way everything is blocked is a little weird, but there were like light switches and vents and then like CO2 detectors and all that stuff. So I did have to work with my circumstances. You guys will have windows and other obstacles in your way if you try and do this. So that's something to be aware of, is just save some big stuff to fill in the big gaps and some smaller objects that'll look really great lower down on the bottom, such as these records. Boom. Now also on the top above the windows, as I previously mentioned, it was a very weird space, so I added a bunch of starting lineup figures on the very top. These are some of my favorites personally. Then I added a bunch of cards on that little slit in between the windows. It worked perfectly, and here are the figurines. You got Barry Bonds, Ricky Williams, Earl Campbell, and you also had these Hot Wheels pennants. So these were actually from Monster Jam, and then I added a bunch of horizontal cards on deck of some of my favorite players as well. Then on the last wall, this definitely is the wall that needs the most improvement. I added a bunch of records. I think I may switch this wall up as I accumulate some more posters and items over time, but again, man, you got to work with what you have, and this is definitely what I had. So I had to make, of course, a swagalicious depiction of a narrative with these records. If you guys have not seen my previous room tour, I do mention the meaning behind that. I opened the door and boom, it looked great. So here is the room finished overall with everything I added. This took about 2 days, not 24 hours or 48 hours that is in total, but I did work on it off and on for 2 days and it turned out splendidly. So again, man, this is how I can pimp out a room for a budget.
Yeah, and that is all she wrote, folks. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to show some love. Smash that like button for your boy. Definitely subscribe if you guys are not already. And again, man, I just want to reiterate one time for the one time, it is possible to make a really sick, really dope room for an extremely low price. All these items were thrifted, were purchased on OfferUp, or were given to me by you guys. So I definitely do appreciate each and every one of you guys for staying till the very end. A lot more content is coming soon. I've been taking a little bit of time to make more quality shit than to drop a bunch of bullshit on you guys. So again, I do appreciate all my supporters, and I'll see y'all very, very soon. Of course, y'all want any vintage items, the link to my vintage website, Thrift Heaven, is in the description. Peace!
Killing these songs, leaving a bloody life I roost to. And I'm in it to win it, so I'm somebody that you should get used to.